Okay, let's still on the Jai Eye thing. Not impossible. We know like part of it, the Shandora was put up by Knockout Stream, so that's not too crazy. I just don't know like why would it be there and then now and like I don't know. I guess it's just like that's not crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Like they're all fucking crazy, but like it's not like ridiculous. Like I don't know, and I know it's like got a lot of traction. So let me know what y'all think if anybody watches this part. Okay, here's 6 mind-blowing One Piece theories explained by the same guy. What's his name? Jaegerist. Jaegerist.
Analyzing every One Piece chapter and found 6 theories that will absolutely blow your mind. For example, there is this one theory about Blackbeard's laugh that left me completely stunned. You probably noticed that One Piece is full of weird laughs, but did you ever notice that some of the characters' laughs correspond with the devil fruit they ate? Take Whitebeard's, Piranha's, or Streusen's laughs, for example. They all laugh with the first letters of their fruit. Now, with that said, did you ever notice how Teach laughs? Teach's laugh is which may seem unimportant initially, but if this theory is right, it may be a key to one of the biggest One Piece mysteries. There is a mythical creature called Baizi, also known as Hakutaku in Japan. Now, if you take those names' first and last words, you get Teach's laugh. So, it is possible that Teach already ate his 3rd devil fruit? You probably think this is just a stupid coincidence, but bear with me, it gets crazy from here. Baizi is a mythical creature usually portrayed as a tiger, sheep, or lion with 3 heads or 3 eyes on its side. The interesting thing about this is that Teach's flag also has 3 heads, and the number 3 is very emphasized in Teach's appearance. Also, his personality usually varies throughout the show, as sometimes he acts like a coward, sometimes he is cautious, and sometimes overconfident. This would also align perfectly with the animals Baizi is representing. Sheep for his cowardice, lion for his overconfidence, and tiger for his calm and cautious personality. What's more, did you ever take a good look at Shanks' scar? How did Teach even give it to him? Many fans speculate that Teach used his claw weapon to do this, but I don't think that's true. If you look at Teach's weapon, you'll notice that it has 4 blades, while Shanks' scar only has 3 lines. Based on this, it's likely that Blackbeard transformed into his Baizi form and surprised Shanks, which allowed him to scar him with his claws. Also, Baizi literally translates to White Marsh, which could hint towards Whitebeard and Marshall. I'll give this theory 4 out of 10 chances.
Okay, I heard the Cerberus fruit, or maybe even Chimera fruit, or he being an actual Chimera. That's the first time I heard that. And he made some valid points there, some interesting points. The thing I don't like is the whole mission around the names as much as he did. It's kind of like the crazy, like, you know, like the real conspiracy theorist people. Like, if you think about something enough, you can kind of fit it into your narrative. Interesting, though. There's a possibility he has some sort of other devil fruit that allows him to have the other ones. Like, I didn't know about this creature before. Like, I only heard of Cerberus. But, like, if this is, like, a Japanese folklore creature, it would make more sense Oda would use that.
Of happening. But in the later parts of the video,
3, 4, not too bad. I will give it that.
I'll be revealing some theories that have a 9 out of 10 probability of happening. Now that you understand how crazy this video is going to be, let me tell you this insane theory about Emu and the One Piece world that might just turn.
See, he says insane. I invented the crazy theories of the week. I used to do that a long, long time ago. Back before this guy even knew what One Piece was. Come on now.
Turn out to be true. Did it ever seem odd that One Piece world is nothing but islands? Did it ever seem strange that there are a lot of structures built underwater, from sunken cities and underground prisons to underground islands and giant gates? Heck, there is even this big subscribe button at the bottom of the sea that's just waiting to be clicked. Anyway, it's almost like an entirely different world existed and was flooded at some point, right? Well, that is exactly where this next theory comes in. In chapter 908, one of the Gorosei said, "The balance of the world can't be maintained forever. It seems like there is a need for a great cleansing." So what exactly did he mean by this? And could it be connected to the underwater structures we mentioned earlier? Well, firstly, it's important to mention that Oda takes a lot of references from real-world religions, especially Christianity. This can be observed on multiple occasions, like Kuma carrying a Bible, Mihawk wearing a necklace with a cross, devil fruits, angels living in the sky, you get the point. So what if this great cleansing is also inspired by Christianity and refers to the story of Noah's Ark, where God flooded the earth?
Well, I mean, we already have Noah and, like, Fishman Island.
After researching this theory for quite some time, I found some evidence to prove this. As you already know, Emu and the Celestial Dragons live on the top of the Red Line in the city of Marisha. Now, it's really interesting that they chose that specific location, especially because it's the highest point in the One Piece world and would make them...
Did he change the way he said it versus last video? I always said Marijoa. He said Marisha. But before, I think he said Maroa or something. So maybe he's like me. He don't know what the fuck it is either.
Completely safe from the flood. It's also an interesting parallel that celestial dragons are referred to as gods, which makes it even more fitting that they fled the One Piece world.
If you'd like a more spacious space, well, you know, there's this.
The same as the god did in Noah's story. This theory would also explain why there are only islands in this world. You see, if the world was really flooded, that would make only the highest points above the sea visible, while everything else would sink. This phenomenon was perfectly explained during the Long Ring Long Land arc, where the path connecting small islands wasn't visible because it was underwater. But how would the Gorosei even do something like this? Well, I think that's where Emu comes in. I don't know how many of you noticed, but Emu's name in reverse spells the word Umi, and the word Umi means sea in Japanese. It's too early to say, but Emu could have some kind of power to control the sea to some extent or raise sea levels. Anyway, we'll need to wait a bit more till Oda reveals what exactly it is. For now, I'll give this one a score of 5 out of 10.
I don't necessarily disagree. Like, there's a possibility, and what he says makes a lot of sense. Why is there only so much, like, everything's an island, it seems? Would it be like he can control the sea, or maybe he can rain or create water or something? I don't know, or maybe it was somebody else, or maybe it was a machine. So, like, there's parts of the theory I think could work. I don't know if, like, the whole theory as a whole. Well, I think that's the thing with a lot of these crazy theories. I think a lot of them, there's pieces, and then how they put the pieces together, they don't always gonna make sense, but, like, pieces in them do make sense, like that.
Bounties. The completely made-up numbers that government gives to pirates. Wait a second, are they really random? Well, what if I tell you that these bounties are actually carefully crafted and have a meaning behind them? And that we can use this information to determine what Luffy's final bounty will be at the end of the show. Okay, so if you take a closer look at some of the last numbers of each bounty, you'll notice that they actually have a meaning in Japanese. Okay, you maybe won't notice that since you are probably not from Japan, so let me explain. Whitebeard's last numbers are 4 and 6, and if we take the first syllable of those numbers, which are shi and ro, you'll get the word shiro, which literally means white in Japanese. If we do the same with Kaido's last number, which is 110, we'll get the word hyakuju, which translates to beast or 100 beasts. For Big Mom, the word is haha, which translates to mother. And you may wonder,
Haha translates to mother? That's funny.
how does this help us determine Luffy's final bounty? You see, there is one combination of numbers that would fit perfectly for Luffy, and those numbers are 5656, which would make his final bounty 5,656,000,000 bellies. Why is this number so perfect for Luffy? Firstly, it would put him right above the previous pirate king, Gol D. Roger, which all of us are expecting to eventually happen in the series. Secondly, numbers 5656 literally spell the words Gomu Gomu, which is the name of Luffy's
Oh, it's not, though. It's not the Gomu Gomu theory debunked, son. It's the Nika sun god fucking fruit. So your theory is completely fucking debunked. No, I don't. I do know there's like these weird, because of how Japanese works, like the names and shit mean two different things at the same time. It's crazy. It's like I remember the first time I learned this was like that like Light Yagami was like a certain name, but it was said this way, or like it was put together two kanjis that mean certain things. So I know there's things like this, and I know that people, now, is Oda doing this intentionally, or are people pulling it after? It's like, it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg. But like it does, some of it does fit in too much, that like, and it's just something he's creating, so I could definitely see that. But what is Rogers? How does his associate with 6-4? And wouldn't it be like, couldn't it just be like a different number and just end? Because like Oda's had weird endings on the numbers, like they don't always end in 000.
Devil Fruit. Seriously, you can't find a more fitting bounty than this. It deserves at least a 5 out of 10 score. And if you thought this one was crazy, we'll start covering the top 3 theories on this list, and these ones will quite literally blow you away. Did you ever notice that the song...
Oh, I think I know this one. I think I heard this one recently, but it could be different.
Binks Sake, the one that Brook loves to sing, actually has some really interesting connections to Laugh Tale and might tell us exactly where it is. You probably think I am crazy for using a song to locate the final island, but when you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. Before we get into how exactly Luffy and the crew will get to the Laugh Tale, let's first explain why the information so major would be hidden in the ordinary pirate song. Well, it's important to remember that Joy Boy lived during the Void Century, and we all know how everything about that period of time was erased from the history. So wouldn't it be genius if Joy Boy had concealed these important instructions into a cheerful song in an attempt to securely pass it on? Yes, it would, and I think that's exactly what he did. All right, but what about this song is so important? Well, let's take a closer look at some of the song's lines and try deciphering them. Firstly, it's emphasized multiple times throughout the song that the crew is delivering Binks Sake. So what is it? It must be important. Well, in the show, sake is usually something that connects people's stories and brings them closer together. We can observe this when Sabo, Ace, and Luffy become brothers when they drank sake. So could the sake in the song refer to connecting the entire world's story and delivering the knowledge of all poneglyphs? I think so, and this is further confirmed by Roger when he left the message near the Sky Island's poneglyph, saying that he will guide that text to the ends of the earth. Since the Laugh Tale is the final island at the end of the sea, this fits perfectly. In the next few lines, some kind of storm is described that will try to stop the crew from coming near the island, and they'll have to beat upon the drums and hold on until the morning sun rises. With the recent manga chapters, this is also really fitting as Luffy's heart and gear fifth beats in the rhythm of the drums of liberation. In my opinion, he'll probably need to transform into this form and fend off some kind of threat that will try to stop him. Maybe a real storm, or possibly a villain like Blackbeard. The song finishes with the line, "Never ending, ever wandering, our funny traveling tale." And what's interesting about this is that the phrase, "our funny traveling tale," is spelled exactly the same in Japanese as the Laugh Tale, which just further proves that there is a real connection between the song and the island. I'll easily give this one 6 out of 10, but this next one about Okiji and Blackbeard is so good that it actually
Okay, that's interesting. I heard something similar to that, and it had something to, and that would make sense. You would hide something like that in some innocuous thing, right? So it's not impossible.
actually has an 8 out of 10 probability of happening.
8 out of 10!
Kuzan was the only one among the admirals who followed his own sense of justice, and therefore, we can all agree that joining Blackbeard Pirates is going against everything he stands for. There must be a reason for it, right? Yes, I believe Kuzan is actually a spy sent to keep an eye on Blackbeard by the Revolutionary Army, and there are a few things that confirm this. In episode 625, after Aokiji saves Smoker, he tells him that there are certain things he can do now since he is not a part of the Marines anymore, and that the grass is always greener on the other side. This could imply that he joined some other organization. Furthermore, during the Reverie arc, it was revealed that the revolutionaries escaped Baltigo just in time before Blackbeard arrived and destroyed the island. Since Aokiji is a crew member now, he probably knew that Blackbeard was going to attack and could have tipped off Dragon about his plans. If you still don't believe this, there is one more.
Yeah, we need that in One Piece. We don't have that yet. He Skyped him in. Well, Skype isn't. He used Discord or something to Dragon. The Discord snails.
Thing that may persuade you. For unknown reasons, Blackbeard's 10 captains are called Titanic Commanders. This seems pretty irrelevant until you realize that the thing that sank the actual real-world Titanic was an iceberg. And since Aokiji is literally an Iceman, this perfectly symbolizes that he may betray them in the future. 8 out of 10 is a fair score for this theory.
Fair enough. Like, I think that some people are saying like they think he's part of Sword or something. I definitely can see. I don't see Aokiji is like really on Blackbeard. Like, he's got an ulterior motive here.
But let's dial the crazy up to the max.
Crazy theories.
And cover the wildest theory on the list with a score of 9 out of 10 that states that.
To me, the wildest wouldn't be like that likely of happening. But that's me.
Rayleigh is Mihawk's father. Okay, that's a
whoa! That's a new. I haven't heard this one.
Pretty weird statement, but there is actually a lot of evidence why this may be
true.
A
lot?
Firstly, let's start with the similarities between the two. Both of them use a sword in battle. Mihawk is the strongest swordsman now, while
okay, like a lot of people use fucking swords. Not that good.
Rayleigh was most.
Well, Zoro might be the strongest swordman. Does that mean Rayleigh is like his father or grandfather or uncle or brother? Or Mihawk is Zoro's daddy?
Likely the strongest swordsman in his time. Oda has also hinted at the connection between the two in how they dress. If you look closely, you'll notice that Mihawk and younger Rayleigh have a really similar pattern on their clothing. Now, we can easily pass all of these as coincidences.
They
Let
are.
me tell you one more thing first. I also believe Shakuyaku is Mihawk's mother. Think about it. If Rayleigh ever had a child, it would most likely be with her. But that's not the only reason. If you put Shaki and Mihawk next to each other, they have some visible similarities. The most obvious one being their spiky hair. And lastly, Mihawk was seen wearing a shirt with peonies during Roger's execution. Why does this matter? Well, if you translate Shaki's full name from Japanese to English, you'll get, wait for it, peonies. I think this one just has to be true, and it would be really cool to see Rayleigh and Mihawk fighting together at some point. If you like these
Okay, that would be fucking cool, right? That would be cool. I think that one's a super stretch. I don't know. Like, I get it, like, it's interesting, right? And I get, like, there's these little niggets. I don't know about this one. I don't think it's as proven as he thinks it is, in my opinion. Like, that's where I'm at on that one. Is it impossible? No. But, like, I don't know if that, like, and like Oda uses a lot of people, like, look, fucking, like, half the women in One Piece all look the fucking same. So him using a design of, like, the hair being similar, that's kind of like the whole Whitebeard, like, oh, he's, like, Weevil's got, like, a, you know, a beard that looks like Whitebeard's mustache or whatever, right? Like, a mustache like his mustache. Like, I don't know. I don't see that one. I don't know that. I think some of the other ones are more likely. Interesting. I haven't heard that one before, so that, I think that one's really fucking crazy, like not realistic crazy. All right, let's give him, like, this dude puts in a little bit of work and shit and, like, doing his thing.